Right, my friends, listeners, viewers, welcome to our episode today. Today we've got Jonah Simon. And yes, if it sounds like there's a little bit of nepotism going on, it's true. My name is Russ Simon with Leadership Solutions. This is Jonah Simon with Uplify. And I am excited to interview my own son on this podcast because he recently launched a business, and that business does something magical to help you do business with the people that you want to do business with. We're going to let him talk more about that. The framework we're going to use today, though, is we do business with those we know, like, and trust. And that's where Jonah comes in, and he is a master at helping us do this. So we're going to use that framework, first of all, to get to know Jonah. Jonah, we want to get to know, like, and trust you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your street cred? Give us the know you, like you, trust you.
Well, first off, I'm very flattered. When I got your invite over LinkedIn and I realized we had this connection, I thought, wow, it's been like a couple hours since I've texted my dad, so that's crazy.
How you?
Um, yeah, so I just started this business. This business idea actually came from I just graduated from Utah Valley University. I have a degree in digital cinema production with an emphasis in producing. And throughout school, I had been doing a lot of freelance work for a lot of different clients. And I kept kind of coming to this realization with everyone that we're wasting a lot of money on noise that doesn't really get results. And I feel like, especially in today's world where everything is so oversaturated and everyone's just trying to pump out as much content as possible, the people that are really going to rise to the top and going to stand out are the people who are going to figure out what their signal is more than what their noise is.
That is awesome. Okay, uh, Jonah, tell us a little bit about your wife. We want to get to know that part too. That's
Hmm.
important.
Yeah, we're coming up on 1 year married, which is super exciting. I'm married to Fifi Simon, and we actually met on the first day of class. So just fresh off the mission, walked into, I think it was Intro to Film Analysis or something. And I really wanted to create a study group, and she was one of the lovely people I bumped into, and she was the one who kept showing up. And yeah, now we're happily married.
I love that. Coming up on 1 year. Congratulations, little
She's
honeymooners.
graduating pretty
Okay.
soon in art and design, which is really fun.
Ooh, she's just going to add to the talent here, right?
hmm
So actually, we know where the real talent is. She's just going to be recognized for it. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
she was a
Uh,
strategic acquisition for sure.
I like that. Well, I think everyone knows, likes, and trusts you more now that you have Fifi in your life, even more than before. So that's a great thing.
I would
All
agree
right,
with
now let's use that same framework to get to know the company. I'm going to pan out here for those that are watching. I've got a little screenshot from your website here that informs everybody, but help us get to know, like, and trust your brand. Uh, Uplify. Yeah. And let's start with the name. Like, what do we need to know about that name as we get to know, like, and trust you, your brand?
Yeah, so I put a lot of thought into the name. It took like a whole semester for me to like really whittle down my list and what was important to me. And I ended up on Uplify because my wife actually, she has her own YouTube channel and she was like, I really want to make art that's uplifting to people. And I was like, I love that because who doesn't like a little uplifting in their life, you know? So I believe that all content that people are going to interact with should uplift in some way because that's what people are going to remember. And I also feel like in this era where, like I mentioned earlier, everything is so noisy and everyone's just trying to get as loud as possible, we need to amplify that uplifting message by putting some real signal into it. So
Mm,
uplift, amplify, uplify.
okay, great. So there's the name right there. Give us a little bit more of that like and trust. What is it that we should like and trust about Uplify?
Well, I mean, we're a fairly new company at this point, just a week or two old. But we are built on a very clear vision, which I think will contribute a lot to our success moving forward. As I mentioned, with all of my freelance work, I noticed that we kept just churning out content, right? And it was fine content. Everyone's really concerned with documenting a lot of their stuff lately. Like everyone wants to document their events and document what they're doing. And they feel like if they can just like document themselves and post that, then people will be able to like them and they'll get to know them a little bit more. And that's true to an extent. But today, with everything moving so quickly and having all of these short form videos becoming really, really popular, people are scrolling past your video in a matter of seconds. If you're able to have a really concise vision, then you're able to accurately communicate your authenticity with a lot more confidence. And people will stop and they will get to know you and they will get to like you. So right now we're full of hopes and dreams. We've got a portfolio on our website so you can kind of see what we're about. But yeah.
Well, I want to bring that up for just a second. I want to add some trust, some credibility, help people get to know, like, and trust you a little bit by sharing about how Jonah, in what he did early on, I guess maybe on the accidental side of things, actually did this for me with my brand. And so I had hired Jonah. Yes, even though he's my son, I still hired him, paid him to come in, train some film some trainings that I was doing with two of the companies that I was with. Frontline Pest Control was one, Village Baker was another. And so Jonah came in, did some photography, some cinematography there, created some promotional videos for me that I feel move right along with what it says here, cinematic storytelling that shapes how the world sees your business, right? That's like the tagline you've got on your
Mhm.
website right now. And so here's what happened. Jonah created one for Frontline. I put it up on LinkedIn. Periodically, I would pop it back on. Now, as of May of 2026, that would have been about maybe a year ago now that we shot that. And then I was invited to do some speaking out in Philadelphia, and so I did some training out there in June. So shortly afterwards. And as I was flying back from Philadelphia, immediately as I was getting on the plane, a CEO local to my area here in Utah, he texted me and he said, can you jump on a call? And I was familiar with the name. I knew who this person was, but we had never done business together before. And so I thought, oh, this is interesting. And so I just mentioned I was getting on the plane, flying back from Philadelphia, and that I'd be able to speak in a couple of hours. And he said, great, I think you might be able to help me with something. Now, he wasn't quite sure what I did, but because he saw Jonah's video, he started to become familiar with, he started to get to know me. He liked what he saw there. He knows the owner of Frontline Pest Control. And so he saw that that person trusted me. And I think that initiated the trust there to be able to have a conversation where once I got back into town, we sat down, had a meal together, spoke over some of the needs that he was looking to fill for his leadership team. And then we set out an 8-month training program. And now we are literally in the midst of creating a 12-month training program going forward. So we wrapped up that 8 months. That they know me now, they like me, they trust me, they want to move forward on a continual basis. So it's great. So that was one. And then of course we've got the short form videos as well that you created for Village Baker for me, which have also had great returns. So I just wanted to share one where a year ago Jonah was already doing this and he's created these videos and they've helped me get business. So I like that part a lot. Okay, now, let's anything else you want to share on that before we move on to the next part?
I mean, I think you summed it up really well. I have felt very personally drawn to this. I feel like it really is a big need, and I feel like I really enjoy making this kind of video. And so seeing those results is a real testament to their effectiveness and to showing, because you are a very authentic person, just in general. Anyone who's ever interacted with you knows that. But being able to communicate that effectively is a real help to your business, which I think is really cool. So,
That is true. And oh, I'm sorry to cut you off.
no,
It's
that's
true. And
it.
that's something that I wasn't. and I probably wouldn't have been able to communicate to this CEO, although I knew who he was. We really didn't have that kind of interaction, and it would not have happened. I mean, that was a five-figure contract right there in and of itself, leading to another five-figure contract on this
Hmm.
one. So yeah, excellent. Now, one of the things that we love when we're in a podcast is we always want that takeaway. Like, okay, what's in it for me? We want the whiff 'em, right? And I know you've got something that's in it for us today that you can help us so that if all we did was listen to this podcast, we could move forward and start making a difference, right? So
Absolutely.
what is it? Yeah, what's this gift you got for us today, Jonah?
All right. So if I could leave everyone with anything that you could do to increase the quality of the content that you're putting out right now, I would say just strategy, strategy, strategy. Okay. So signal is definitely more important than noise, especially today with how much noise there is. And before you create any sort of content, you should sit down, get out a pen and paper, or I guess your notes app if you're super cool and high tech. And you're going to answer three questions in three sentences. Okay. You're going to answer, what is my intended message? Who is my intended audience? And what is the measurable result that I want out of this post, campaign, etc. Right? And it sounds really, really basic, but it is super surprising. Like if you scroll through your social media, if you look at all the ads you're seeing or like all the marketing that companies are doing, it is really easy for you to tell which companies did this and which companies didn't. You know, you can do it for them retroactively. You can scroll through and be like, okay, I know this company's message, I know who their audience is, and I know what they want to get out of this. And then you can scroll through and you're going to find a lot of companies that don't do this. So it doesn't matter if you have the most cinematic video ever. If you don't have a vision for it, if you don't have a plan or a strategy for it, it's not really going to do much other than sit in your portfolio. And I'm here to bridge that gap. So when you have this strategy, if you're like, okay, well, now I need something to post, I've got this strategy. Where are my assets? I'm here to help bring that to life.
Can't believe you said assets right in front of me. I'm your dad. Come on. All right. So, all right. So this is great. And let me share with our audience one way that you are helping me do that because I've licensed a John Maxwell leadership conference that I'll be hosting November 4th at Silicon Slopes. And for that, and I have three licensing opportunities, right, to use this publicly. So one will be at Silicon Slopes. That would be my first one in November, and then I'll have two more after that. Well, what I want to do, let me use your framework here, is I have a message that's transformational leadership. That's what the message that I want to give is transformational leadership, and I am a person who helps others with transformational leadership. So that's the message I want to leave with these individuals.
Perfect.
The audience that I have is people who are building their business currently and recognize that need for leveling up their leadership. So they recognize, ooh, I think I'm the lid on the growth of my business or the bottleneck, right? And so I have
Mhm.
this leadership lid that I need to open up and level up. And so that's the audience that I'm looking for is those that feel the need to grow and level up because they recognize they're holding their business back themselves. So I call that the capacity wall, right? And the result that I want for them is I want to create more margin in their life from this event so that they can experience some of this transformation. Because right now they're pushing too much. So it's like there's no room to grow, right? So I need to
Yeah.
help them do that. So and you're probably going to help me refine that even more because even as I say that out loud, I'm like, oh, I can see where that needs to be tightened up. Uh, your technical skills is I'm hiring you to come video, to take film, take pictures, and then I want to use that event, that initial event, to help promote the other two events, which will be at larger venues with more people, right? And so the first one at Silicon Slopes, more intimate, more exclusive, I guess, and then the people's experiences there. I want to have those testimonials from those individuals. So I guess strategically using you, here's what I want to do, right? I want to create a message of transformational leadership, and that I'm the person who can help you do that to transform your leadership. So I'm looking for those leaders who are ready to level up and transform. And the result that I want is for them to experience it that day and feel leveled up, and then know, oh, if I partner with Russ, he can help me keep leveling up, right? And this doesn't have to be a one-time experience. And then that's where I need your expertise to come in with the photos, the cinematography, the short form, whatever long form we get from that to be able to post on social media and let people know. Again, know about the event, like the event, be like, oh, I think I like this, and then trust the event that their investment is going to be worth it with those testimonials. So from what I just shared with you right there, what would you say to help our audience understand maybe a little bit more about how you would do that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think you went through the checklist, and there's definitely, like you were saying, there's some wordsmithing you could do to really like condense it into like some powerful sentences. But you've got the idea already. You already have a vision, you already have your message, and you already have your audience. So you're already checking those boxes, which is doing a lot more than some people would. And because of that, instead of you just hiring any videographer to come and document your event, you're hiring someone who understands your vision, has this clarity that you have really communicated to me. And with that, we're going to kind of turn this event. Yes. We're going to turn this whole event into like a high intensity production set. All right. So I'm not just showing up and videoing what you're doing. We're going to milk this at every single instance. So from this one event, we could get this beautiful, like 60-second flagship film, right? Hey, this is happening. This is Russ. This is who he is. Something that really stops people and get their attention. We could have an entire gallery of these little bite-sized social media ads, like little video clips here and there. We could even take the video, turn it into some text-based clips or text-based posts, right? We could get a lot of attention-grabbing chop-ups of maybe customer testimonials, or I guess this wouldn't be customers, it would be attendees. We could just take some people off to the side, get a bunch of little of their testimonials, make, 10, 15-second little, hey, this is what I got out of this. We could even have some short personalized messages from you at the venue to kind of promote this for your next one. Um, and yeah, just kind of all of these things that once we have this vision and we know what we want, we can execute with precision, which I think is really cool.
I love it. So it's in this case, it's not just the who, not how principle, which is an important one to hire somebody, but you want to hire the right person who, like you said, oh, I can see that vision. And then you just rattle off, like just off the top of your head. We hadn't even talked about this. Like you just rattle off, here's the things we could do. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot different from me taking some selfies or handing my phone to somebody, or like you said, even having someone there who just documents it. And then now what do I do with it? But that's where I really have seen your skills and your expertise come in. And I want to invite people to check out your website because right now on your website, they are going to see some long form and some short form content right there that I just describe as fire. I mean, literally, you're going to see the video that got me 2 5-figure contracts already, plus, and then you are going to see some of the things that Jonah can do for you there. So Jonah, let's have you give everybody just the way that they can reach out to you, contact you, because I know they're starting to they know you now. They're starting to like you. I think when they go check out your website and this other stuff, they'll start to trust you even a little bit more and say, "Oh, I need Jonah. I need Jonah to help me out." So yeah, tell us website, how to contact you, anything
Yeah,
to wrap up here.
for sure. So the website is www.uplifycreative.com. So I'll just one word. Uplify is Uplify. And if you want to contact, everything's at the bottom of the website. So we've got all the socials, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. There's also a little email icon. If you click on that, it just opens up your email client and it already autofills everything for you. Or you can even send us a message. There's a little field where you can do that. Or you can just email us at hello@uplifycreative.com. Um, yeah, that's
I was the proud papa, so I clicked on everything first. I was first on everything, but I will drop that information in the show notes that we've got here in the YouTube going on and wherever else we're going to be posting this. And you've got some sweet deals going on the website right now that I want to read off to our friends. So you got grand opening 25% off every order to celebrate your official grand opening. I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to call you on that right now because I'm hiring you. All right. And then spread the love, 250 off per referral. So anyone who reaches out to you now, I get 250 back, right? Oh man, I'm making a lot of money
Mhm.
off this today.
All they got to do is
Okay.
say that
And
they heard about it from this podcast, and you both get 250 off.
wait, we both get 250 off?
Yeah, it's for both people. It's for the
What?
referrer and the referee.
Oh my, yep, it does that
Yeah.
for you and the referral. Man, this just keeps getting better. Jonah, you're making people's day. They're liking you more and more the more they're listening here. And then let's be friends, 100 off if you follow our socials and leave a Google review. Looks like that's the next thing I need to do is a Google review. Tell my little story about how you helped me get business with one video and how much business it's actually gotten me, right? To be able to do that. So this is awesome. Congratulations, Jonah. All right, well, as we wrap up today, any other thing we need to know? Call to action, info to leave with us?
Well, I would just like to kind of reiterate on what you were saying. We have these amazing deals going on right now, and part of that is because we want to build as much trust as we can. I am very confident that I can deliver above and beyond what expectations would be, but we're brand new, right? I have to start somewhere. So in order to build that trust, I want to give everyone as many opportunities as possible to work with me and be able to see what kind of value I add to their operations. And we really are able to work on any scale of project at any point, right? So, like you, for example, when I was working with you, you were just getting started. You were like, hey, I just need something. So, we worked together on the price and the scope and the scale, and we delivered something that was able to be perfect for what you needed in that moment. So, if you're looking at the website and you're like, all right, well, these are sweet deals, these are great prices. I don't know if it's where we're at as a company. I think we need a little more, or I think we need a little, we need to readjust some of these things to really be able to make it optimal for us. Feel free to just reach out. You can input your name, email, little message, just kind of explain, hey, here's what we're looking for, here's what we want, and I'm confident that we'll be able to put together some kind of package that'll be perfect for you. So,
Me too. And what I'm going to tell people is grab him while he's cheap. Like, get him now because I've seen what he's done. He has worked on big productions. I've been in DC with this guy as he's filming. I've been in Mexico with this guy as he's filming. He knows what he's doing. Get him while he's got the grand opening going and the prices are good because the bigger this guy gets, you know how it goes. The bigger the price tag gets as it gets going. So we'll see how long I can hire my own son to continue to work with me as a partner to help me continue to get more of these contracts. So, Jonah, thank you so much for being with us. It's been a real pleasure and look forward to doing more work with you, buddy. Catch you later.
thanks so much.